Hey guys, welcome back. I'm still on the west side and today I return to one place that I missed previously, and that's the Bailan Bay and the village. So this place lies right after you leave the lonely beach and before you arrive to Bang Bao. It's very easy to miss because there isn't anything that would catch your attention on the main road, and it's very small. It's only a couple of 100 meters, the village. So before you even have a chance to think about it, you will most likely be on the way to Bang Bao. So I'm starting at the north. I parked my car at the Bailan Beach Resort and took a little staircase down. So this peninsula tip where you can see the entire bay behind you. It's quite a nice little place. So let's take a little walk across this area and let's see what we can discover in Bailan Bay today. There isn't any significant beaches in here. There is a few small ones that I will show you in a minute as we will take a walk alongside the beachfront. They have this little nice, cute little beach that seems to be like a half man-made, half natural. And by the way, the resort is closed, so there isn't anybody right now. They are doing some works on it, renovation. There is quite a lot of construction in here going on. It's still pretty quiet. Yeah, this place looks like it needs some renovating. And I don't think I will go back to the car. And I will just keep walking on the beach and see if we can get all the way to the Lisca Beach, which is at the end. More bungalows here. I made it across all the construction and I'm on the Bailan Beach. I think this is the main beach, at least the one that is naturally made. Quite nice, quite big waves. Looks like this place across here is all private, so I'm not sure if I will be able to cross through it, but let's try. I made it across. There was a guy sweeping the leaves. This looks quite nice beach actually. Very small, private. So this resort is named Koh Chang Bailan Beach Resort, similar than the first one, and looks quite nice. Look at that, they even have a pool. So I was not able to walk across because there was some wall and quite deep water. So I'm walking back to the main road and we will go around. So we can see the village as well by foot, not by driving by car. So as you can see and hear, this place is very, very quiet. There is not much going on. All I can hear is some construction in the distance. Muay Thai gym. There seems to have a gym in here as well.
I tried getting back to the water to see if there was anything interesting in the middle, but it was mostly just a rocky shoreline with a couple of small boats and one open restaurant where a few Thai people were having lunch. Not a bad view for a meal. After that, I returned back to the main road and walked all the way to the end where the largest resort in the area is supposed to be.
So I walked across all the village and I'm getting towards the end where is the home of the biggest resort in this part, and that's Mercure Hideaway. And this is quite a large resort for the area. I would not even expect this big resort to be here. Let's see if I can get to the beach through here. Hello, Sawadee.
Some resorts can be really strict with privacy and guest-only rules, but this one was surprisingly chill.
And the rooms are quite affordable here, starts about 1,500 baht from what I've seen on the internet.
So I walked across the entire resort, first past the reception and then through the main restaurant without seeing a single guest, though the place looked fully staffed.
Looks pretty empty. So far I haven't seen anybody except staff. So let's see the Lisca Beach. Okay, we made it to the Lisca Beach. So this is apparently the artificial beach that all the sand that is here was just brought in here, as there was none. So let's have a little walk. And there is this man-made spiral that goes a little bit out to the sea behind. Let's try to have a walk on it. So I'm trying to get as far as I can, but looks like this part of the spiral is underwater. But so far it's not slippery, so I will try to get as far as I can. Okay guys, I made it. It wasn't as easy. I think the water is start getting a little bit high now for this little walk. Oh, I wonder how I'm gonna get back now, but okay, so this is the Bailan beach, bay and the town. Very, very quiet place, right next to the party place. So if you wish to stay close to the party place but still have a quiet sleep, this might be the best place for you. There is one more thing I would like to check, and that's the camping area behind me. I don't think there is anything right now, but since we are already here, I can go and have a look. So now I need to walk back.
I could not get to the camping site from here since it was fenced off, but there was no need anyway. I could already see there wasn't much going on there.
So yeah, the camping site is closed and there is some construction going on. So that was the Bailan beach and the bay and a little village. Very quiet, very peaceful, very lovely place with a few small beaches. And the next we have the Koh Man Nai island behind me. I already attempted to cross to it, but I messed it up, so we'll stop there when the time is right, which is just in few days. And we have a waterfall, Klong Chao Lueam, and we might stop in a Klong Son as well. And that's the last few places from west side, then we will move to the east. And that's everything from Bailan, guys. There is a treetop park behind this as well, but it's closed, no point going there right now. And you need to be 100 kilo or less anyway, which I'm not. I've been, but I gain a little bit back. Anyway, that's it, that's the Bailan village.
Next, I'm heading to the very north of the island to explore the Klong Son area. But before that, I made a quick stop here at the northern part of Klong Prao. We've already explored Klong Prao before, but I've never checked out this northern tip, also called Chet Beach, after the resort located at the very end of this area. I walked through Coconut Beach Resort to access the beach and had a little look around, but the most interesting spot was right at the end, the Chet Resort, which had a nice little bay all for itself.
So since I'm already here, I stopped quickly to have a look. And this looks very nice area, very calm water in here. There is quite a lot of green as well, not just the sand. Quite nice place, this Chet area on the north. So they have a little river here with some nice launching spot, which would be perfect if they will let me use it, because there is quite a few islands in the behind that I would like to get to. So I'm right at the end on this green patch in here, and it's no more beach, it's just a little bit of rocks. So I'm gonna check the Chet Resort and then we'll go back to the road and we can carry on.
This resort, however, wasn't as relaxed as the previous one, and I could not freely roam around. Most of the grounds were strictly for guests, so I only managed to check out the reception area. Still, it looked lovely. Room starts around 1100 baht for a hillside room and go up to 3000 baht for the premium option right on the tip of the bay facing the beach. Since I could not explore further, I walked back along the access road where I came across a small fishing community by the river just behind the resort. After that, I returned to the beach and took a walk south, passing one resort after another along a beautiful stretch of sand.
So I had a little walk down to the beach, and most of the resorts are under renovation, as you can see. So everybody just doing some work renovating. So that's the north part of the Klong Prao, also known as a Chet beach. And now we continue to the next one. Alright guys, I have arrived to Klong Son Village. It's a local village at the north of the island. It's an area that everybody will pass through, but very few will actually stop and explore, as there isn't really that much. It's a little local village where mostly locals live, and there isn't anything that much touristy except one beach, and there is one bay, Klong Son Bay, which is quite nice, and I'm going to have a look right now. So as you can see, there is a lot of villas behind me. So this whole area, this whole bay where I am right now, well, this whole beach behind and the land behind that belongs to a land developer who purchased all of that, and it's just building villas behind. It's still ongoing. That land is still empty behind me. But there is already 3 rows of villas built in this area, and they are all for sale or rent. So there is a very nice beach in here, very wide open beach, this Klong Son area. And I'm just gonna have a little walk. So this beach is public, you can come here if you just follow the Blue Haven sign when you enter the Klong Son village. It's a gated area, so yeah, there is a security in the front, but he will just open the gate for you as you pass, and you can come here. There is a beach club at the front as well. So let's explore this place a little bit and see what we can find in here.
This part of the bay has a very different atmosphere, much more posh and fancy feel. It's a big contrast to not only the rest of the village, but honestly to most of Koh Chang. It almost feels like a completely different island. In the middle of the bay you will find a few smaller resorts, but the other side is dominated by Aiyapura, one of Koh Chang's oldest luxury resorts, open since 2001. It doesn't have any natural beaches, only a few man-made sandy corners where guests can relax during the day. Rooms here are surprisingly affordable, with prices starting from 1300 baht per night around this time of year.
So at the end of the villas there is a beach club that you can come and enjoy. There is a quite nice pool, quite deep, 1.8 meter deep actually, quite large. And on the other side where I'm heading now, there is a pebble beach, not the greatest, but you can see the mainland from here and the ferry moving up and down. There is also a pier in the distance, and there are the other 2 little beaches. I think it's called Half Moon. Okay, since I'm already here, let's have a look at the pier. Seems to be somebody fishing in there. Okay, made it on the end of the pier. Only 2 guys fishing here, nothing else. Nice and peaceful in here. And since I'm already here, why not check the Coral Cove? Should be like little beach and a resort. I can see some guys fishing in there, so maybe we can check it out. There is also this pretty cool ramp. This looks perfect for launching a little kayak. There is a little sign, says restricted area, Royal Thai Navy, but I think that's the hill, not the road. Okay, we made it to the beach. This looks very nice, very private. Oh, I see the resort now. Just like one big building. We'll go check that as well. But first, let's have a look at the beach. You can hear the guys fishing behind me. So very small. So that's the beach, small and private. And there is the resort behind. I don't think there will be anybody in there. Yeah, the resort looks closed. I think when I looked on the Google Maps and seen the price, it's a bit ridiculous. I think it was like overpriced for no reason. It was like 20,000 baht for a night. Which didn't seem right for this kind of accommodation. But the area looks very nice.
It's because it's not a resort, it's a very spacious 6-bedroom villa.
Coral Cove, beachfront villa, hotel managed by Peninsula Beach Resort.
That explains the high price, but when you realize this massive villa can fit up to 12 adults, it suddenly doesn't seem so overpriced anymore.
No waves whatsoever. This would be perfect for swimming as well. So that's the Coral Cove. And there is one more building in here. I'm not sure if that's the part of the Coral Cove or is it like somebody's private house. But since we are already here, why not check it out as well? There's another of these Thai Navy signs, so I think it's just a hill. So yeah, we're definitely not going hiking in there. That looks like somebody's private house. Pretty nice, nobody at the end, very, very private.
If you are not a fan of crowds or just want some peace and quiet, you build a house like this, tucked away from everyone, but still close enough to the village.
And that's pretty much everything from the Klong Son Bay. The only thing I could go check maybe is the 2 little beaches in here. And yeah, then we can go to the town.
This beach wasn't anything particularly special, but since it was on my way back to the car, I made a quick stop to check it out.
Looks like that's it. Just this tiny little beach. Oh, there seems to be one more behind this one.
And this one was actually quite nice and had a couple of villas on it as well. It's called Half Moon Beach and it's the last beach on this side of the bay.
More villas for rent. For rent by owner, 4-bedroom, Dutch English. So it looks like the most of them are privately owned, and when they are not here, they are just renting it out. This doesn't seem like a bad spot to own a villa.
Alright guys, I think I've covered pretty much all of Klong Son Bay today. Even though the weather wasn't perfect and this place really needs a bit of sun to shine, it was still a nice afternoon out. On the way back, I stopped in the center of the village to grab some dinner, and honestly, this might be the best place on the whole island for food shopping. Not only there are tons of food vendors all in one spot, but the prices are super local as well, not inflated like on the White Sand Beach. Plus you've got all the big supermarkets here, CJ, Lotus, 7 and Big C. And because Thais aren't exactly the target market for microwavable pad krapao, you can often score them discounted in the evenings. So if you are on a tight budget, this is the place to eat cheap. As for my next stop, I'm heading inland in search of a truly secret place, a waterfall hidden deep in the jungle with a man-made pool right in front of it. Believe it or not, this spot seems to have been completely forgotten by time, overgrown with dense vegetation as nobody comes here anymore. How can a place like that be so secret, you ask? Well, we will try to find out together today. But first we will start with a more touristy waterfall that is the reason people usually come here. To get there, we start at the 7-Eleven crossroad in Klong Son and head inland. From here is just a couple of kilometers on an easy road, and along the way you will spot some interesting things like this totally normal private house. Nothing suspicious here at all. See, perfectly normal Thai house. Eventually the roads start to narrow, and once you pass the elephant camp and the rubber plantation, the tarmac ends and you will be on the dirt track for a short while until you reach a fork with a sign pointing to the waterfall. You can park here, but I think it will be more fun to take the small river crossing ahead and park on the other side instead. It doesn't really matter where you park, because you will still need to pay 40 baht per person to the locals who live here for access if they are home. And from there we can start our first little hike.
Hi guys, my next stop is the Klong Chao Lueam waterfall, 200 meters. So short walk across the jungle and we are there. I don't expect anything crazy in here. The waterfall is also known under the name of Klong Son Waterfall, which is a lot easier to pronounce than the Lueam. Alright, so this is not very busy waterfall. I don't expect to meet anybody in there. I can already hear the water, so we are very close. Alright, this looks a bit slippery to be honest. Oh, it's not that bad. Okay, I've reached the first little waterfall. I think this is not it, because that would be quite disappointing, but this is supposed to be a cascading waterfall, so there will be a couple of levels. So let's go check further up. There is a little pool in here, but I don't think I'm going to dip in this one. Also, I don't think there has been many people today, if any at all, because of all the spider webs. I'm just getting through them. Alright, this looks a little bit better than the first one, and there is even a man-made pool. I can see some concrete walls, so let's go check it out. Let's jump. That was fun. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit higher to maybe 2 more levels and see what's up there, because I don't think that's everything. I think there is more to this waterfall than this one. I climbed out of that second tier. It wasn't easy, I tell you. This is probably the least accessible waterfall, and now trying to get to another tier. There is a little trail around. It's just the waterfall itself, it's very hard to get to. So far I'm not impressed, unless we meet something more impressive on the higher levels. Yeah, it doesn't look that great in here. There is a little pool in here you can dip into, but I think I will skip that one and we'll try to get a little bit higher. There's another little fall and there is one more on top. That's the first waterfall that I don't think is very impressive. Yeah, there is a little nice pool to dip in this one as well. Might go check that one out, but look at that again. The way to access it, you just have to climb down, which alone would not be a huge problem, but there is very little to touch. There are some vines, but some of them are rotten. So let me try to get a little bit further. Maybe there will be better way to that little pool. Yeah, a little better in here. We can try this one. There is a little bit more. We can try maybe one more level, but yeah, not the most impressive waterfall here. If there would be one, I would skip. Probably this one. guys, I think this is the level 4, and yeah, it starts getting a bit steeper in there. I will just go look behind this corner if there is anything more interesting, and I think I will call it. It's a nice little waterfall, but not very impressive, and if you pair it together with the kind of hard accessible trail, I can't really recommend this one. But to be honest, it's been a bit rainy weather for quite a few days, so everything is so wet and slippery. So yeah, let's go peek behind this corner and let's go back. Okay, there seems to be one more in here, and I think this is the main one, or so far this is the biggest one, so good that I continued. Yeah, this one looks a little bit nicer. Okay, I take it back, this might be worth coming here. I think this is level 5. I think this is the best level so far. So yeah, after all, it might be worth coming here just because of this one. Alright guys, I think that's it. Seems to be like a dead end anyway. There is no visible path behind me, and I can see a little path that way, but I would have to cross the river, and there is no easy way to get down there. So instead, I think I will just call it. We get like a 4 or 5 levels high. The last level is probably worth coming to, but like I said, it's very hard accessible, even this last level. Just to get down there, I don't even see any path to get down there properly. So that's it, let's go back to the car, and I will try to find something else since I'm already here, but I will tell you more about that when I get back. Alright guys, I'm back from that waterfall, and now I'm going to try and find some other waterfall. This one is supposed to be a little secret, and there even should be a man-made pool. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, but it's supposed to be here somewhere. So this waterfall and man-made pool is not mentioned anywhere except one site, which is imkochang.com, and the only instructions that I have is to go 100 meters back from that road where the water crossing the road, and on the corner there should be like little white half collapsed shack which I found, and the track's supposed to start in there, so it should be 300 meters. I will try to follow it for 300 meters and see if we can come to any secret waterfall.
Shortly after, I crossed a small dried up riverbed, and at that point I was almost sure this wasn't the correct way. But since there was a faint track visible, out of curiosity I decided to follow it anyway to see where it would lead. It followed the riverbed, crossing it a few times, and eventually came to a surprisingly another waterfall.
Alright guys, I found something. I don't think this is the one I'm looking for, but it's quite nice, this one. Little tiny waterfall in the middle of the jungle. So yeah, this one I don't think anybody will ever come to see this one. There is even a little tiny pool, but not deep enough to actually have a dip. So yeah, I'm turning and going back now. This is definitely not the one. There was supposed to be a man-made pool, and there is nothing in here.
On the way back, I explored the rubber plantations around the area. I was almost certain that this is not the way to go, but it was such a cool walk through this kind of forest, I did not mind. And there were quite a few of them before I eventually get back to the road. Wondering where it will end, I follow it all the way to an open clearing. There wasn't much here except for a small improvised shrine and a tent. Road ended here, but there was a small track leading further. I checked it out as well, but there was just more rubber plantations on the other side. I did, however, come across a pretty cool little dam in the river, which was a bit unexpected.
So found an interesting dam, but that's not the pool I'm looking for. But it's quite nice as well. So my search continues.
Eventually the weather started to turn, and with the rain coming in, I gave up the search for today and headed back home.
Okay guys, a couple of days passed since I attempted to find that pool, but I'm back today. I did a lot of research online, even though there is very little information about this place that I'm looking for, but I think I found it. So last time I tried to enter through this little shed, through the gate, which is not the correct path, and the correct path is literally like 5 meters next to it, and it's this one right behind me. It's a little bit overgrown, but you can see there is a path. And to verify if this is the correct path, I checked on the satellite images, but on a Google Maps there are satellite images from 2025, and these will not show the track because it's completely overgrown and the track disappeared. However, if you check the satellite images and particularly years 2014 and 2018, anywhere in between these years, you will see the track. The trick is to use Google Earth Pro, and in there you can switch the data from older years, and that's how I found the track that I was looking for. So I think I've got the correct track today. Weather is a lot better. I had to take a couple of days off because it's been really bad weather for like past week or so. But today I'm going to try and enter through here. And it's been a couple of years, like 5-6 years since the path disappeared, so I don't know what we're gonna find in there. Maybe the pool will be completely destroyed or even gone, so we'll see what we will find. Let's go. So about 50 meters in, and there has been a couple of trees that were blocking the path. Now the path is pretty apparent, so I think there might still somebody be going up there. Just look at that. Looks like a normal hiking trail. I don't think you can go on here on a motorbike though, but for a hike it's perfectly fine. We will see what we'll find. So yeah, last time I've been pretty close. I've just been going over that one.
At first the path was fine and it felt like an easy walk, but soon it became completely overgrown. That's when I had to pull out my machete and start chopping my way through.
Okay, so here we have a little fork, I think, so I will just stick to the right.
At every fork I came across, I just kept to the right and keep chopping my way forward.
Guys, so I think I can hear the water down there, so I think that's the waterfall that we've seen when I was down there. Yeah, I can see the river now. Yeah, that's the waterfall down there. No way, don't tell me that I was so close. So I must have been very close because this road looks exactly like the one that I'm supposed to be going. Oh guys, I think I found it. No way, look at that, we found it. That's the one. Secret pool with secret waterfall. Look at that, it's a little bit overgrown. There should be a stairs on the left. Oh yeah, I can see it. Just need to be careful there is not any snakes or anything. Yeah, that's the one, guys. What a place, huh? Okay, the road kind of ends in here. It's a little bit blocked. We'll have to get my machete and try to get through.
I wasn't kidding when I said we would see something truly special today. I've researched this place a lot and yet I could not find a single video about it. Not on YouTube, not anywhere else. Who knows when someone last came up here? It feels like a forgotten place hidden in time as nature slowly takes it back. I managed to cut a path so we can reach it today. So let's uncover this almost lost waterfall together.
Alright guys, I made a path. I chopped through all of this vegetation. Ooh. And now we can see the most secret waterfall on Koh Chang. That's it. And this is actually quite nice. It's still blocked by some trees. Oh, you get a little viewpoint in here. Ha! Made it! Now this waterfall has probably not seen by many people. That would be my guess. What a spot, guys, huh? Now, this is a pretty amazing place. I would say this is one of the most coolest waterfalls I've seen so far. Not the biggest, but cool, absolutely. And the pool. What's the purpose? Who built it? I have no idea. But my guess would be they probably wanted to charge people to come here, maybe, just to make some money out of it. But yeah, this place must have taken a lot of time and effort to build it. It's just like a full-size pool. Like lots of resorts and hotels down on the beach would be pretty proud to have a pool like this. So guys, this is pretty amazing spot. I really love it in here. Now the only thing that I'm wondering is why is this closed off and not open or more accessible, because this would be perfect for visit. I think this is a much better place to visit than the Chao Lueam waterfall, the Klong Son, that is just opposite of this. This was much better and much more impressive than the Klong Son waterfall. So yeah, what a pity, this is a pretty secret spot, but now you can find it yourself. It's not that hard to come here anyway, it's just like 300 meters, our easy trail. I clean up what I could with my machetes.
This place really deserves to be seen by more people. The pool itself is just incredible, lit by sunlight scattering through the treetops, illuminating its 4 separate sections, each with different depths. Water cascades over the edge on one side, with waterfall as a backdrop on the other. I can't help but wonder, why is this place abandoned? To me it feels like the most amazing spot on Koh Chang. One reason might be that during the high season there is no water. The pool drains, the waterfall disappears, and with it most of the magic. Visiting Koh Chang in the rainy season definitely has its perks, and maybe that's why this place has been left forgotten for almost a decade now.
This place has been here since 2013, 2014, and it's completely secret. Nobody knows about it, maybe a couple of people. As we've seen today, it's been completely overgrown and nobody been up here for quite some time. Well, at least I've been here now. So yeah, this super secret waterfall is definitely worth a check when you go check out the Klong Son waterfall. This one is even better. Alright guys, I think I've seen enough. I will go back. One of the best secret waterfalls I discovered.
And that's all from this truly magical spot, hidden deep in the jungle of the beaten path. Don't forget to like and maybe even subscribe if you enjoyed this adventure. I definitely had a lot of fun making this one. It's not every day you stumble across a completely abandoned gem like this one. And for my last stop in today's video, I'm heading back to Kai Bay. There is still one island there waiting to be explored on foot.
So I'm back at the Koh Man Nai, that little island that is supposed to be walkable, and going to attempt it today. As you can see, the weather is not the best. It's a little bit of rain, but I still have a little bit of time. The low tide should be between 8 and 9 and it's about 7:45, so I have about 15 minutes. But if it's not stopped raining, I will just go across anyway. So I've been here before attempting the crossing once and I failed miserably at that time because I didn't do much research except just looking at what time is the low tide, and the water was just too high at that time. So I'm here again today after doing my homework. So how this works is this island is only walkable during the certain period of the year, and that means during the low season. So if you come here during the main season in January, February, you will not be able to walk to that island. You will have to take a kayak or canoe and paddle to it. So I am in the correct season, that's the first step, but there are a couple of more requirements that have to be met. The low tides changes every day. It's a little bit higher and lower on different days. So you need to find the days when the water is as low as possible. In this case, it should be about 0.7 meters or less, which is only during the certain months. And that's the May, June and July are the best months where the water is the lowest, which I already missed because it's already beginning of the September now. But I still found a few days that the water is about 0.8 meter, which is just 10 centimeters, 4 inches less than the recommended level. So I'm going to attempt to cross it, and I can tell you right away that the water is already a lot lower than when I've been here last time, because last time it been 1.7 meters and I got like water around my waist and the wave blew to me like that. So I failed that time, and today I can already tell you that I can see the sandbank being exposed, so this is a much better. And apart from all of that, you still have to find low tide during the daytime, because it's no use if it's like a low tide at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? Because it will be dark, so you cannot really cross. So let's get going and see how far we can get. So yeah, this roughly 600-meter walk is not as straightforward as I originally thought. It takes a bit of careful planning to be here at the right time on the right day when the water is at its lowest. Apart from that, the walk itself is pretty simple. You start in front of the Sylvan pool and head towards not the beach but the east tip of the island, or to the two smaller islands in the background. You can't just walk straight towards the sandy beach, you have to follow an L-shaped path instead. In the most optimal conditions, the entire sandbank would be exposed and you wouldn't even have to touch the water. But since I am a couple of weeks late for that, I will have to walk through the shallows instead. It feels a little strange, you keep walking forward, but the water never gets any deeper. So I'm already quite far.
Eventually you are 300 meters away from the beach. Here is like that scene from the Interstellar on that planet covered in shallow water. And then out of nowhere there was this sandbank right in front of me.
I made it to a little sandbank in the middle of the water. I think this is roughly about halfway there. From now on the sand will end and I will be walking on a kind of like a dead coral, a little bit sharper rock, so I will have to be more careful. But yeah, the water is perfect. It was like just above my knees, so that's very walkable, because last time it was above my waist and the waves coming up and I was only like 200 meters from the beach, so this time I made it already much farther. Okay, so let's carry on because we don't really have that much time. The lowest tide is only for 1 hour. After that it starts getting a little bit higher.
Finish the first part of the walk, just before reaching the dead coral, the water gets a little deeper by about 8 inches or 20 centimeters. That marks the end of the sandy stretch, roughly 300 meters in. Once you step onto that coral, you need to turn about 90 degrees and start walking toward the beach. This part is much more difficult to walk on as the dead coral surface is very uneven and it's hard to see exactly where you are stepping, which make it even harder to keep your balance and not to fall. The key here is not to rush and to keep your eyes peeled for where you place your feet. The coral is mostly dead, but you can still spot bits of life here and there, and there are some sharp rocks which you absolutely don't want to facepalm into.
I'm almost there. The progress is going very slow now because the dead corals, a lot of rocks, and now as I'm getting close to the island I see lots of sea urchins everywhere, so I need to be really careful not to step on anything. But almost there. Even the rain stopped now. Still a little bit dripping. Oh. Yeah, but the water is not very deep. As you can see, it's only about 1 feet. But I have to be very careful where I step. So yeah, the second half is probably taking twice as long as the sandbar. All right, let's get there because we don't have that much time. Alright guys, I made it all the way. It took about 40 minutes to cross. I would say about 10 minutes the soft bank and half an hour the rocks. And yeah, it's about 8:35 right now. And from 9 o'clock the water should already be higher by 4 inches, 10 centimeters. So I cannot linger here for too long, otherwise I will be stuck. But yeah, it was pretty fine even in September. Like the water was around my knees, a little bit above my knees was the deepest point. But you cannot walk straight to the island, you have to go a little bit around the corner. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little walk in here and we'll start heading back. So yeah, that was the Koh Man Nai in early September by foot.
I walked the beach from one end to the other and it was very lovely stretch of sand, but of course it needs some sunshine to truly shine, which sadly I didn't have today. But if I'd waited any longer, I would probably have missed the chance to walk to it entirely, and the weather was expected to stay bad for the rest of the month anyway, so I'm glad I did the walk today. At the northern end of the beach were even some mangroves, and as I was passing by, the sky was starting to look like it might rain again. Luckily it held off and didn't open up fully, so I had a bit of time to enjoy the island, at least for a little while.
And I did peek inside the jungle in here, and there seems to be a little path that could be explored, but I really don't have time today for that adventure. So that one will have to wait for another time, because I have to go back now before 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's a little bit overgrown, but you can clearly see some path in here that leads maybe on the other side of the island. There is still about 5 or 6 more islands next to this one, so I will have to come back by the kayak anyway. So we can then check the other side of the Koh Man Nai. So that's it from Koh Man Nai, guys, and I will see you in the next one.